most fun things is to do things that I don't have any idea what the hell I'm going to talk about. I don't even know. I got so many things I could talk about. And that's the thing. I like freedom. I like to be free. Free. What is free? There's two things. Not two. There are like 50 different things I like to think about. Freedom and truth. And even about God. But I don't like to get into the typical worn-out arguments about whether God exists or not. To me, it doesn't matter. But the idea of God is fascinating. You know, I was watching this thing with this guy. What's his name? Bagliosi. Is it Vincent Bagliosi or whatever his name is? The guy, he was a prosecutor who prosecuted Charles Manson. But he wrote a book about religion. You know, it's called something like... I can't even remember the name of that. Something of doubt. Something, you know, it's a thing where he sort of examines religion. And he actually has some harsh words, I think, for both theists and atheists in their beliefs. I think he probably fits in the category of probably agnostic, as people might say. But, you know, here's the thing. I haven't read his book, but I saw it at the library and I was thinking about it. And I was watching some interview, which I actually put it on my saved later thing. It's on YouTube. I think his name is Vincent. But anyway, the thing is that, and I probably didn't even pronounce his name correctly, but just look up the guy who prosecuted, you know, Charles Manson. The thing is that the whole thing about God is interesting. Some of the things he talked about. You know, you can't really have, you don't have evidence that there's a God. There's no evidence that there's a God. However, you really can't say that there is no God either. I mean, you can't say that there isn't, and you can't say that there is. It's not a statement about the facts of the world that you can say one way or the other. But there are many things, not just religion, but a lot of things in this world that are not things you can make a statement and say, this is the case, and that isn't the case. It's just things in the air. You don't know. And I think for a lot of people, that drives people crazy. So they got to have a definite. So they have to kind of create a definite. You have to create a definite one way or the other situation. You have to kind of, in your mind, make it that way. You know. You have to, because it's like it drives you nuts to not have it one way or the other. Everything comes down to judgments when you get down to it in life. You know, we make judgments about whether something is the case or not. Just like the question of, is life worth living? You know, is it an objective thing? Can we objectively say life is worth living? Can we objectively say life is not worth living? You know, I think that there may be some truth to what William James said. And it's his whole thing about belief and things. That he said that, you know, if you believe that life is worth living, your belief will help to bring about that fact. In other words, your belief will make it a fact. If you believe life is worth living, you live your life as if life was worth living, and you find yourself experiencing life as being something worth living. And will you cut that out, Missy? Missy, come here, come here. You want attention? Okay, I'm paying attention to you. Let me pick you up, because that's what you want. You want, and you need to be washed. You got, look at how dirty you are. Your little dirty self. You are so dirty. You need a bath and a haircut, and that's what you're going to get soon. You get a bath and a haircut. So now you got attention, okay? Okay, now you just get down from here. Now, the thing is that, what was I saying before I got interrupted? You know, life is worth living. If you believe it's worth living, you make it that way. See, I think there's truth to what William James says. Beliefs actually affect, you know, I know, but not in I don't want to get into that new agey thing, which people get into. But what you believe does have an effect on what is the truth. A person who believes life is worth living will see that that's true. And somebody who thinks life is pointless and is meaningless and is not worth living will see that. you will see the realities of whatever it is you believe. Your belief colors the reality itself. It kind of, it's not like, this is not a case of solipsism, where we kind of just basically believe we exist and thus we exist. You know, but it's a case where what you believe about what's real influences how you experience what's real. And what is real is what you experience about things. So it kind of becomes this sort of circle of things. People might say circular reasoning, and maybe it is. But maybe it's not just circular reasoning, but there's a kind of circuit. You know, I like the word circuit because it's a circle of things. That if you believe something, it influences things. It's just like if you believe. See, what William James talked about would be things like this. You know, like if you believe you could succeed at something, you're more likely to succeed because you believe it. Your belief may put you in that frame of mind where you do. And if you believe you can't succeed or you believe you can't accomplish something, you don't even try. And if you don't try, you won't do it. You know, you won't accomplish it. You'll say, yeah, I see, I knew I wouldn't accomplish it. Or if you do something half-heartedly and you don't really believe in it, but you just do it anyway. But, you know, we know in our own everyday life that there are times we don't believe something. Like, I give you an example, where even just simple little crazy little nutty things. Like one time I found $1. It's just a regular $1. Let me rephrase that because that's the whole point of the story. It wasn't a regular $1 bill. It was a $1 bill, but somebody wrote all over it. I mean, they wrote all kind of crazy little stuff. I guess they must have been in love with somebody because they wrote like "I love you," this, that, all up in the margins and they painted and colored over it with the ink and stuff. And so they really sort of disfigured that dollar bill a lot. And I remember looking at this thing, laughing and showing it to my coworkers and said, "This is crazy. I found this $1. You can't even spend this thing. It looks like." But there was a change machine. I thought, if I put this in that change machine, it's not going to work because this thing reads it. And there are many times you put a regular dollar in there. If it's worn out, it'll spit it out. If you ever hit one of those machines that give change. So I was talking to one of my coworkers, and I said, "I bet you this thing doesn't work." And she said, "Well, you should try it. And I said, "Okay." And I tried it. I put it in the thing, and I was just certain it wasn't going to work. And it worked. It actually, the machine took it and gave me change. But you know, there are times when you could doubt something's going to work, and it does work. Your doubt doesn't affect reality itself, in a sense. You know what I mean? If I doubt that a certain team is going to win a game, they could win regardless. Their winning or losing has nothing to do with my doubt or belief. But you know, in life, there are things that are affected by what you believe. You know, it's like William James gave an example, like, you know, in his book when he was saying, you know, a train could be robbed by a bunch of highwaymen. You know, I guess that's a term they used back then, highwaymen, who could get on that train and rob everybody. You know, they got a few of them, and there could be a train load of passengers. Yeah, they can get away because they know that they can count on each other. They have this ideal, this belief, at least a belief, this was his whole point, that they can count on each other. They know they got each other's back. Whereas the passengers could outnumber these people. Maybe some of the passengers even have guns, you know. But the thing is that the passengers can't be sure that they're going to get backup. If I do something, all the other passengers are going to help me. You know, but he said if the passengers knew or felt confident or had the belief that if they rose up against these people, every other passenger would rise up against those people too. Yeah, they would be outnumbered, and those people would go, "Oh my God," they'd surrender. You know, the thing is that that's the way life is. You know, it's all about beliefs. If you believe something, and we all kind of were certain of that, yeah, things would happen differently. Outcomes might be different. Beliefs do count, but I think that you have to also realize that beliefs have a limitation too, just like knowledge is limited. Beliefs are limited. They can only do so much, and they can only do so much in certain areas. You know, if I believe I'm going to win the lottery, if that's all that was required, if that was all that was required, I'd buy lottery tickets all the time, and I'd be winning every day. But you know, every person out there, you know, even if belief actually has a power, you know. Like if I go, let's say the Mega Millions gets up to $20 million, maybe $500 million. If I believe I'm going to win, there are like millions of other people who believe they're going to win too. But we know that not all of us are going to win. Now, granted, maybe the belief do have a power. Maybe if everybody else doubted they were going to win, and I'm the only person who really believes, or if I believed even harder, squeeze my butt cheeks together and believe even harder, you know, maybe I would win. There are limits to what beliefs can do and how your beliefs affects things. But when you believe something, in some areas, it can have an effect. You know, it's like what William James said. If you believe that life is worth living, your belief will help create the fact. It will make life worth living. And if you believe you can be successful at something, your belief will help to create the reality. It's one factor, not the only factor. You know, you could believe you're going to win and you could lose. You know, you get in the Super Bowl, let's say if you're a coach of a team, well, you believe you're going to win. The other coach believes he's going to win. You know, if you have let's say a basketball tournament and it starts off with 64 teams, at the end of that tournament, only one team is going to win, but all 64 teams might believe they're going to win. Everybody believes they're going to win. So belief in that case obviously isn't the key factor. Because everybody believes, you know, even if everybody doubted they were going to win, still the same results are going to happen. One team is going to be the champion. You know, let's say, I just try to imagine that. You know, you have a tournament with 64 teams and every team think, oh, we're going to lose this game. And the other team, you know, you have this team, you know, the team from Chicago thinks we're going to lose. And the team from New York, we're going to lose. So they play each other and one of them wins. The Chicago team wins. Say, well, we got lucky. But we got to play against Philadelphia next week. Well, we're going to lose. And the Philadelphia team think, oh, we got lucky. We're going to lose too. And they play and then somebody wins. The Philadelphia team wins. And then the other, you know, and up the line until they get to the championship. Say, yeah, well, we made it to the champion. Man, we got lucky. Yeah, and the other team say, we got lucky too. We're going to lose. No, we're going to lose. No, we're going to lose. Okay, well, whatever. You know, and they play and one of them wins. Well, that would be the same as if they thought they were going to win too. I know I'm going off and off and on and on and on forever. But that's why I kind of think about when people kind of overdo it with beliefs, like believing something will make everything work. No. But I still think there's truth to what William James says. If you believe something, your belief will help bring about that fact. You know, so many things, like I believe I could make videos. And I believed when I was learning Spanish, I could learn it. Yeah, you do it because you have the confidence that comes from the belief. And the more you succeed at something, you feel even more confident. But just confidence and belief alone are not enough to succeed. Sometimes there is randomness in things. Randomness plays a big role in life. You know, some things, sometimes you just get lucky, you know, and that's the way life is. That's all I got to say because I can go on and on and on and I got to get ready to go. So, and Missy is wanting more attention, so let me just stop. And I'm going to put this up as bad as this video is and as much as I rambled on about things, so that's it.